Mazepin has been a controversial figure since coming into Formula One. It was no secret that he was signed at least partially due to his father being a billionaire and the team signing him while looking for drivers with financial backing. But he was quickly embroiled in a scandal when he groped the breasts of a young woman. Mazepin, the son of Russian billionaire tycoon Dmitry Mazepin, was sacked as the team made a sudden decision to drop Dmitry's company, Uralkali, as the team's major sponsor. In this video, we're going to look at what Formula One drivers and bosses think of Nikita Mazepin being sacked because he's Russian. If you want to know the answer, make sure to watch the video till the end. US-owned team Haas has been under immense pressure to act on Russian driver Mazepin's future following the country's invasion of Ukraine, with sports around the world cutting ties with Russia. The FIA, F1's governing body, had stated that Russian and Belarusian athletes could compete in their events under a neutral flag as long as they officially agreed to the organization's principles of peace and neutrality. But Mazepin says he was sacked before he had the chance to do so. Mazepin and his father, oligarch Dmitry Mazepin, have meanwhile been added to the list of Russians facing EU sanctions, the EU stating that the latter, quote, is involved in economic sectors providing a substantial source of revenue to the government of the Russian Federation, which is responsible for the annexation of Crimea and the destabilization of Ukraine. His driving ability also came into question as he crashed on his first lap in the F1 and had several run-ins with the Schumachers, including teammate Mick. Ralf Schumacher told Sky Sports Deutschland that it was, quote, a shame, but also the right call. It's a shame for Nikita, but he can't do anything about it and it has absolutely nothing to do with him, Schumacher said. I realize it's a difficult situation, but a split is the only right option. From a sporting point of view, this can also be a good decision for the team. It had to come to this separation mainly for two reasons. One is the pressure from outside, the other is the fact that Haas is an American team. Mercedes boss Toto Wolff has given his verdict on Haas's decision to sack Russian driver Nikita Mazepin. Wolff said he was in two minds over the decision, with sympathy for Mazepin, who merits to be in Formula One. He can drive. But he added, you can see that some of the sports' leagues have decided to allow Russian athletes to compete, and others have been stronger in denying them access. I think as an athlete, it is a difficult, but to support the robust sanctions, you can understand why. Formula One has also canceled its contracts with the promoters of the Russian Grand Prix in response to Russia's invasion of Ukraine. While the sport was quick to drop this year's Grand Prix, F1 bosses later announced that they had terminated the contract, meaning Russia will not have a race in the future. Wolff supports that decision. I am Austrian, and Austria-Vienna is only 400 kilometers from Ukraine. And who would have thought that we would see another war in Europe, he said. Formula One and the sport seem so minuscule in that context, so we decided not to race in Sochi, and I think that Formula One has given a robust statement like many other industries in the world. He added, I think this is the overwhelming topic today, and it allows us to reflect on all the little annoyances we have in the sport that they're so much more important than this. We have Ukrainians and Russians on the team. It is certainly not easy for all the individuals who have families there. It is tough times, and from a personal perspective, having grown up in Vienna with parents of Slavic background, I feel what is happening even closer to my heart. Red Bull advisor Helmut Marko recently shared his thoughts on the matter. The 78-year-old feels that the organizers made the right call when it came to not going ahead with the Russian GP. Letting the country host an international sporting event would offer them an opportunity to clean up their image falsely. I think this is the opportunity to profile yourself as a sport, said Marko. it would only be counterproductive if we offer Russia the opportunity to put itself positively on the map with a Grand Prix. It was also crystal clear from the drivers that they do not want to race in a country that unleashes a war in such an aggressive way. Our rights holder Liberty immediately came with a clear cancellation, and you can see that the sport continues this trend worldwide. Helmut Marko praises Formula One for taking a stand against Russia, but has insisted that Nikita Mazepin should not be sacked by Haas on the basis of his nationality in the wake of Russia's recent invasion of Ukraine. Marko has since claimed that Mazepin should have been allowed to continue at Haas if he would manage to find another source of financial backing to replace Uralkali before the start of the new season. If Mazepin could stay in the team without Uralkali's financial support, I don't think you should exclude him on the basis of his nationality, he said. Daniil Medvedev is also not yet excluded from the international tennis circuit. It is primarily about financing Russia. Nikita Mazepin revealed he has received messages of support from drivers including Mercedes newcomer George Russell. "I appreciate the small number of drivers who expressed their support for me," said Mazepin, speaking from Moscow. Sergio Perez, Valtteri Bottas, Charles Leclerc, and George Russell all contacted me. They know how important the situation is, and they showed their support after I lost the opportunity to compete. The messages were nothing political but just on a personal level, to keep my head up because athletes have been broken and lives have been destroyed after a decision like that. Mazepin was asked on 3 occasions whether he felt it was realistic he could continue in F1 given his father's link to Putin. He replied calmly, insisting he was willing to race under a neutral flag before adding he will offer legal aid to Russian athletes who have been essentially abandoned by their sport as sanctions take their toll. Mazepin added that Haas have not contacted him since the press release, a method of relaying the news he disagrees with. The 23-year-old is particularly disappointed at the situation, given it was his dream to compete in F1. "I lost my dream which I've been working towards for 18 years, Mazepin concluded. "I didn't imagine the situation of losing my drive would happen so soon, but I absolutely do not see Formula One as a closed chapter. I am going to stay in race condition, and I will be ready to take on an opportunity if it comes." Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications to see more of our future videos. With that said, keep enjoying our videos, and I'll see you in the next video.